The Three-Strike Law by Blake Hersteck and Megan Miller. The three-strike law can be defined by the following. In the Violent Crime Control and Law Enforcement Act of 1994, the three-strike law provides a mandatory life imprisonment if a convicted felon has met both of the following criteria. 1. Has been convicted in federal court of a serious violent felony. Examples of this are murder, attempted murder, rape, armed robbery, and arson. And 2. Has had 2 or more previous sentencing in federal or state courts. The sentencing enhancements in this law can have a significant impact on a criminal defendant. There are other laws like this, which are made different by the number of offenses needed to trigger the penalty. Currently, there are 28 states with heavier sentences for repeat offenders. As you can see on this map of these states, Pennsylvania still has a three-strike law in place. Washington was the first state to enact the Three Strikes Law in 1993. Since then, more than half of the states in the U.S. have followed, as well as the federal government. The first man convicted using the three-strike law was Tommy Lee Farmer. He was a native of Sioux City, Iowa, and he was the son of a minister and the brother of a college professor. In 1971, he was convicted for the murder of a veterinarian in Sioux City. After having spent most of his adult life in prison, Farmer was released, but then arrested for an attempt to rob a convenience store in eastern Iowa. He was the first person in the U.S. to be sentenced under the three-strike law and received the life sentence. President Clinton thought of him to be the poster candidate for the three-strike law. Another famous case is that of Timothy L. Tyler. He was raised in Connecticut, Florida, where he attended Lakewood Senior High School, graduating in 1986. His parents were divorced and he was abused by his stepfather. He suffered from many mental illnesses as a kid and had several episodes which made him go to the hospital. His first 2 arrests on drug use did not evolve into prison time. The second one only caused a 3-year probation. The third arrest, however, ended him with giving the life sentence based on three-strike law. However, after many petitions for his release, President Obama granted Tyler clemency on August 30th, 2016. He will be released in 2018. The law office of Wallen and Clark, who reside in Orange County, California, has dealt with many three-strike law cases.
Hello, I'm Stephen Clarish, Senior Partner at Wallen and Clarish. Under California Penal Code Section 667, if you have a prior felony strike on your record due to the violent crime and you are convicted of any subsequent felony, your punishment may be doubled. And if you have had 2 prior violent felony convictions and you were later convicted of another serious felony crime, you could face a minimum of 25 years in prison or serve up to 3 times the sentencing term of the current felony conviction. The punishment under California Three Strikes Law can be severe and ultimately change your life. If you or someone you know has been accused of a serious or violent felony and face the possibility of a strike on their record, contact an experienced criminal defense attorney immediately. Here at Wallen and Clarish, we have handled many cases where clients are faced with a strike or multiple strikes on their record and need an experienced attorney to represent them in court. We understand the severity of these types of cases and have always aggressively defended our clients to ensure their continued freedom. Call Wallen and Clarish today for a free phone consultation.
There's a lot of controversy surrounding this law. The fact that it is not consistent in every state, and the fact that many people are attempting to counter this using the double jeopardy clause, make this law used very limited. President Obama dislikes this law. He does not disagree with the law itself, but he does not agree with the amount that it is used, especially in drug-related cases. President Clinton has also stated his remorse over this law. To quote him, "Good news, it has been one of the biggest crime drops in history. Bad news is we had a lot of people who were essentially locked up, who were minor actors for way too long. Here are the current U.S. prison statistics. 200 million people are in federal prisons. Half of them are drug offenders, and a third of them are either African American or Hispanic. $80 billion are spent on them every single year. Due to the three-strike law, there has been overcrowding in many prisons, and many prisoners are forced to live like this. As a whole, the three-strike law is not inherently bad. However, the use should be limited to people only with serious violent felonies, such as murder or rape. It should not be used in drug cases, for people are losing their entire lives over little mistakes they made before. Thank you for viewing our presentation on the three-strike law.